All right, folks, we're going live. A lot of stuff has happened since Davis and I last streamed together. Gilbert Arenas is a name. Yeah, I mean, stuff moves so quick that this will be forgotten about in 2 days. But Gilbert Arenas drafted some teams. We'll have some quick discourse there. Little PSA, this might be the last show Davis and I do for a while because I'm going to be teaching chess again starting in June. I do have July off, so I might be, maybe we'll get back together during July. Davis, how long have we been doing this show for now? I know I reached I think we started it up like maybe the first week of the
I was going to say
season.
I believe week 1. I think we did week 1. We were like, yeah, we'll do a BR show, or whatever. I think is how it started. And
Yeah,
then
well, what it was
like
is
the sweat show.
It's the Best Ball Mania breakdown show where we also do, like, we weren't doing too many BRs. Like I went back and watched some of the episode just to refresh myself there. But what it was is it was us looking at like BBMDB and talking through the slate and doing pick'em. So I'm still going to do that this upcoming NFL year on Wednesdays. Gonna have to do it at night. I doubt Davis wants to do it with me, but who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, look, man, it's I stayed up till 11 2 nights ago to watch the Thunder game, and I still feeling it. Hate it. Hate that.
I mean, you watch football in season, right?
A Chiefs game I will stay up for. A Jaguars Ravens game on Thursday night. I'm mostly falling asleep at halftime. Most of the time.
But you have it on. By the way, sorry if you're hearing noise. The kitchen's getting ripped out. I'm moving out of this place, but is what it is. Sorry, folks. I'll be moved into my new place in 2 weeks' time. So moving Gilbert Arenas, I gave my opinion on this. People should go back and watch that show because I actually drafted 2 teams with them if they want. But any fresh takes you had on good old Gil autoing those teams?
I mean, I guess my only opinion would be is that if it was illegal to draft bad teams on Underdog, a whole fucking lot of you would have your accounts banned. So we're talking like people are mad about like 30 gap disparities in ADP, right? Or I guess like, so if you take Josh Allen at 3, his ADP is 30, that's a 27 gap, 27 spot gaps. And that was about as big as any of them got. UD even put guardrails in, right? So you can only take 4 quarterbacks in 18 round drafts. You can only take 5 tight ends in 18 round drafts. So there are already guardrails in the room. I think by and large, drafts should really only be canceled for either they find out accounts were colluding, right? So post they find out, and okay, that you go cancel
the
a
same
bunch of
people enter
drafts.
the drafts again and again and again. Like that's some genius
Correct.
tried that.
Or the thing that happened on the big board, which is people are like actually too stupid to help themselves, right?
Even that's like a fine line, like ignorance, like.
So those, I think those wouldn't have been canceled. And I think some of them even weren't if they eventually started taking normal players. But it was like dudes were taking Justin Watson round 8, Carson Wentz round 9, type stuff. So
Like I think a Giants fan should be allowed to enter a draft and be like, Jackson Dart, let's go, baby, first round. Like absolutely, someone should be allowed to draft bad, right? Like
I agree. I couldn't agree more. You see this more on DraftKings where it's truly mouth breathers, right? So they go, I'm a Chiefs fan, so I do Mahomes first, then I do Kelsey. I saw on my TV that Shadur Sanders is looking good, so I'm going to take Shadur round 4. I think the key thing that everyone here needs to realize is that most people on Earth, 99% of people, have put no thought into what actually would be a good.
They're not consuming 7 hours of best ball streams a week. They're not. Yeah.
They'd be like, sick, dude. I got the team with the most projected points.
I got Rodgers. I saw him on the Pat McAfee show.
I saw Rodgers on McAfee, dude. I took him and then I took Metcalf because he's going to be
I
a
love
Steeler.
Rodgers' political stances. Get him on the squad. You know, like yeah, things like that, like that.
And you want this activity, right, to be open to people who think that way. You know,
I mean, yes, I think that draft would have been thrown out if someone started Puka Kyron the year they broke out. But it is a good, I don't know.
It's a great point.
It's too specific of a point though, right? Because like in general, I do think if you like what draft should get thrown out, if you start your draft with Andre Yoshivas and then some UFL player and then some retired player, like come on, like that's on the collusion side, that's on the contest integrity. And again, I looked at the teams in those drafts with Gilbert Arenas. I did not have super teams. My ADP value manifested with like David Montgomery 3 picks past his ADP. Jaylen Warren like 8 picks past his ADP, right? Like I think the discourse was pretty brain dead there. Anyway, seems like we're on the same page there. Let's
the best ball discourse has actually never been worse. I've never been more embarrassed that I was so bad at best ball last year, considering how many of the market participants are stupid. It honestly makes me feel dumber than I already felt. It makes me feel
I mean, this is a good
worse.
point too. Like, however stupid you think someone is, there is someone stupider than that, right? And we're not calling anyone watching this stupid, but like, yeah, there are some people out there who are going to want to start their drafts with Anthony Richardson and Sam Darnold because they think that's optimal. Like,
there was a guy last year, Liam, you probably drafted against him, or maybe this was 2 years ago, who sat the DraftKings 555 with auto rankings, and it was second round Najee, third round Eckler, I think was his auto rankings. Yeah.
And I mean, that guy's actually a DFS crusher. So, like, whatever. I don't know what stances he had. Last year, someone in the 555 was 100%ing Travis Etienne in round 2. Couldn't have gone worse, but that was occurring. DraftKings has changed their stance on this because I've emailed, in the 555 a couple of years ago. I think the year I won, I would like email them and be like, this is happening in this draft. This should not be allowed. And they basically told me like people should be allowed to do whatever they want. They have started to cancel some drafts. So, and that's what it should be, right? Like how many drafts should get canceled? I don't know. None of us are here to know for a fact, but
not very many. Really not very many. Not very many should be canceled. It's like I think
not many do get canceled. Like right. I probably had less than 4 drafts canceled last year, which is I think normal, right?
I think I had 3 or 4 in the big board because of the Chiefs Eagles.
That's a different thing a little bit.
But a totally different thing. But what is Dan George Carlin, the line that think of how dumb the average person is and then realize that half the people on earth are dumber than that.
Yeah. So some interesting contests in the underdog lobby. I'm not a huge Superflex guy. What's your opinion on the Superflex?
So, I mean, I would say a pretty cool thing about this contest is it's a 100K to first contest that most rankings providers won't have rankings for.
Yeah, like I'm not going to do rankings for this. It's too niche. It's just not needed.
There won't be there like probably won't be an ETR article about it. There's not. So if you have a mathematical whatever formula edge, you've done a study on it or whatever, you're going to have an actual perceptible edge versus the field that you probably wouldn't have in the Schnauzer or the Pug. Another thing I like about it, look at that payout structure, brother. That is a payout structure in my opinion. 100K to first, 75K to second, 50K to third, 25K to fourth. That is that has got to be the flattest payout structure in the history of underdog.
It is less than 10% to 10th, which is like, so you're saying it's good because it's crammed up to the top, right? But typically how you evaluate like a flat payout structure
It's
is
10%, 10% to 10th.
well, stuff like, yeah, like what does 20th get? What does 30th get? What does a top 0.1% outcome get versus a top 0.0001% outcome?
You get
Right?
your money back all the way up to or all the way down to 375th. I think it's
I think it's a great structure
I think
where,
it's a
yeah,
cool
if you
structure.
make the finals, you're making your money back, right? Which that alone qualifies as a flat payout a little bit, right? Where it's like that's what you're trying to do, folks. You're trying to get teams to the finals, and then you're trying to get paid from them, right? We don't want to hear the crying midseason about, oh, my team outscored my pod by 400 points. It's not what you're doing, folks. You're trying to have the nuts week 17. You're trying to get to the finals. But I agree. It's a pretty great payout structure. I think they had a Superflex big board 2 years ago. I got a team in the finals there. It had Kyron on it, which he was drafted a little bit more before the draft. And yeah, I mean, my recommendation strategy wise for this would be either get your quarterbacks early, or what I think is really good right now is, and I've not done any of these, so I don't know the ADPs, but my guess for what's really good is you build a super team of skill players, and then you get Aaron Rodgers, Daniel Jones, Anthony Richardson, Tyler Shuck. You get the absolute, assuming these guys are cheap. Like if Aaron Rodgers is an 8th round pick, that changes the calculus. But are you going to be maxing this? What's your vibe there?
I'm thinking I'll do like 50, 75, something like that. I don't know if I'll max it, but I'm definitely gonna play it because the pug, I mean that those are done
We're going to talk
very
about the pug
quickly.
next. But yeah, I might do a couple too, just for like, maybe we'll do one today on stream. But this is the contest where anyone with like a medium to small bankroll, like if you were playing less than $500 in action, not financial advice, but this is my opinion, you should be really attacking contests like this. It's a 3-entry max, $12. So it's $36 to max. It's 2 out of 12, 1 out of 5, 1 out of 5, 124 person final. So it's really easy to make the finals in some sense, right? Where you just got to get 1 out of 5, 1 out of 5. Like that is much easier than going 1 out. Like, let's see what the puppy is in comparison. Puppy is 1 out of 10, 1 out of 10. So 20% versus going 20% 2 weeks in a row versus 10% 2 weeks in a row is much more attainable. And it's still a huge prize to first, right? Like $40K to first. If you reach the finals, you are more than making your money. 150 bucks, $36 to max. So like these are the contests where I would really recommend, $200, anything around there. You should be attacking these. They'll release more of these. Sometimes they do it at like a $50 price point. I think that's also an interesting thing. And yeah, like you should either just get your guys. Like if you're like Achane's my guy this year, Bucky's my guy this year, and then uniqueness is just going to be done at a lower clip here when people only have 3 drafts. So like last night I did one and someone took Bucky Irving at the 1-2 turn. I think that's good. They did Bucky and Achane, so they're getting the week 17 stack. They're doing a combo that almost no one else has. I think that's great for making it easier to win the contest. You always
I mean, I guess. Well, I'm just trying to think on if I agree with like the get your guys type stuff. I mean, I would say one thing is like uniqueness in a field of this size is like relative, like meaningless, basically, because
the playoff pods are smaller, so you're just less likely to be facing a dupe.
And the final is super small too. What is it? It's 35.
No, it's 124 people.
Okay, still very small though. Like the difference between someone being 40% owned and 30% owned is like what, like 6 teams difference or whatever. Like effectively in
when I won
sizes.
BBM2, it was 160 people. Mark Andrews and Cooper Kupp were over 50% in that final. T. Higgins was like 30%, 40%. I won with Jamar Chase because he was on 6 teams. So it's like that's your win out right there, right? Like you know. Just couldn't disagree more. Uniqueness is overrated. I think, like, again, if the field is jamming every single, like, if the field keeps on going, Amon-Ra, Nico, Amon-Ra, Achane, and you are the only one to go Amon-Ra, T. Higgins, you have such a clear out where, like, this would be ridiculous if it was done in DFS. Like, anyone who plays DFS knows that if players were being comboed at like 100% and you sacrifice like 1 point of projection or sometimes no point of projections, and guys will get hurt.
Well, except the issue is that sort of thinking in DFS is kind of passe now. That a lot of the research that these guys have done has found that at the end of the day, you just want the best projected lineups. Like,
right, which we make a lot of assumptions in best ball, which is wrong all the time. Like, Calvin Ridley was a 1-2 turn. Incorrect.
Well, yeah, but these are unrelated points. I'm saying just from a perspective, like the thing you want is just a good team in
absolutely
the finals. I am not thinking really at all about how unique or non-unique is a potential finals team going to be, because the largest part of the control there is week 16 scores, which you have no control over.
Right, but if you have a unique combo, you're more likely to just have a clean out to beating your pod. I mean, do what you want, folks. Clearly, there's different opinions here. I think it's very intuitive and logical what I'm saying, where, you know, anyone who's played best ball long enough, they'll know that, like, the 1-2 guys, there's going to be, in the bigger contest BBM, there's going to be like 5, 8 other teams in your pod with that combo sometimes. And you just want clean outs. You can get lucky and just be the only one to have that combo anyways. But it's very logical that, for example, Trey McBride could outscore Brock Bowers in a given week. Or Trey McBride could outscore Brock Bowers on the season. Or Bucky Irving could outscore Achane. Or Chase Brown is a bad example because he falls to the next round, right? And even that's not too bad to me, but anyways, let's rip a pug. Again, I do think these are the contests you should be going for.
Yeah, pug is an awesome contest.
Being unique gives you a smaller parlay to hit. True. I did 20 second. Usually I try to do 30 seconds, but I already clicked it.
It doesn't give you a smaller parlay to hit. It just gives you a parlay that is more unique to your team.
You have cleaner outs. Oof. Let's go, baby. Getting the 101. If we had a back turn pick, I was definitely doing something unique.
A dude in my Discord the other day got to push Burrow all the way to 94. He took
in a small contest in like a puppy or something.
I don't remember.
That type of stuff happens more in the smaller buy-in contests for whatever reason, just because like the field of the puppy is like the biggest field that like consumes content and are just like wilding out or something, you know?
Yeah, it's very hard.
I saw it on Twitter too.
Yeah. It's very hard for a Best Ball Mania draft to be all 12 self-contained nerds who engage in best ball content. Man, yes. I tell you what, Liam, the whole real-time assistance, Gilbert Arenas collusion, toss straps out, it has made me feel pre-depressed for not winning a tournament this year. Just knowing that some of the most brain dead, like total non-critical thought teams are just like going to smash my teams because that is just life. You know,
well, this is the best thing about best ball for like the health of the ecosystem, where you can be bad, draft bad, and win, right? Like same thing with poker, right? Like you can delude yourself that you are the best. It's what's really good is when someone like
It's harder in poker because you just the more you play, it'll become clear you're not very good.
well, not to some people. Some people, and also what will happen in poker sometimes is like someone will get their money in bad, and then they'll
And
go in
win.
and like just keep on winning, like, and they'll go win a tournament.
Yeah,
That happens all the time.
moneymaker, man.
What's really good is when someone probably does something that was like pretty bad and gets rewarded for it, and then they did something extreme and gets rewarded for it, and then they think they've like figured out the keys to life, and now they're like, jamming it. Like the dude who built 4 quarterback in the puppy and thinks he's like the best drafter in the world is an example of this.
You know how hard it would be for my boy Ray to punt off $200,000 in best ball contest, though? Like, no chance.
No, I don't think he's gonna do that. Like, I don't think he's gonna lose, but it's just like or someone drafted a lot of Saquon or Henry. They think like there's a lot of people that did that just think like, oh, I'm smarter than everyone. Like I've got it figured out. Other people don't. And that tends to wash out in the long run.
Yeah, but it's just harder in best ball because also you could draft more dog shit teams this year and still just get lucky and win. You know what I'm saying? Like you could draft.
I didn't have a lot of Henry
shit.
or Saquon, and I had a profitable season, right? Like, so I definitely ran pretty good there. But also, I was doing things that I've preached. I drafted early. I got unique combos. I hit the Chuba late. I hit the Chase Brown late in May before they got up in price, right? Like these were keys. I had Jonathan Taylor, who actually was the key to winning last year, not Henry or Saquon. I think Henry would have worked. Henry had a big week 17. He had like 30 points.
Yeah, I'd like to amend my example. Jamie Gold is a better example, and Joe Cotta also, who I wanted to have on the Takecast, but he's like a total conspiracy theory bro on Twitter now. Joe Cotta,
very popular in poker sphere. Jamie Gold's a good example. The Jamie Gold thing is recreated nearly every year.
Yeah, except no one cares about poker anymore.
WSOP just kicked off. We're doing something unique here, Davis. Try and think of what player is never comboed with Chase. We're taking Mike Evans. You have the other pick.
Never comboed Lamar.
No, you don't need it. I'm taking the never comboed player in Mike. You can take whoever you want. If you want Lamar, though, I'm cool with Lamar.
I mean, I would take Rashee Rice here. Rashee or T.
You want Rice more than the Harrison?
Yeah, I kind of think that week 17 game is going to suck. I don't care, though.
I mean, the Bengals were like one of the worst defenses in the NFL to tight ends last year. That stuff is somewhat sticky year to year. So yeah. McBride Chase.
No, defensive efficiency is not sticky year to year. It's really
how bad teams are at tight end though. Like that's usually a philosophy of some coaching staffs. Like for like 5 years in a row, Philly was like, yeah, we'll let you have the tight end balls. But the Bengals did, I think, change defensive coordinators, so could change. Anyways,
Mike Evans, not unique. Cincinnati, Arizona. That'll be like negative uniqueness.
Well, when you take Mike Evans like I did, this is an example of what I'm talking about. Like Mike Evans, perfect fit for the format. You could easily see him being the guy you need week 17. He's 1 year older than last year. He never, ever reaches the 4-5 turn. Never.
Right.
So it's very likely we will have the literally only Chase Evans team in our pod. And all we need to have happen is Evans to either have a good year or simply have a good week 15, week 16, assuming we've made the playoffs, right? And now we have, and really ideally, a great week 17, right? Like what we really want is Chase and Evans to score 30. No one else got them together. So we've got like the cleanest out to winning the tournament.
And I think this is, I think the example you're stating right now is like a pretty good example of uniqueness. Like what we just did right there, like Mike Evans, week 1 might even project for more points than T. Higgins and have PPR, more points than Garrett Wilson and have PPR, not more points than Tyreek, more points than Marv, and he never goes there. Like less than 1% of the time does he go there. Now, obviously, week 1 projection is not everything, but it is an example of like you are getting. You're not giving, because the when uniqueness goes wrong is when you're giving up significant projected points just for the sake of ownership. That is bad. That is bad in DFS. That's bad in best ball. It's bad in everything.
Right, but the thing about best ball is we make a lot of assumptions, and it's like it's not even clear. Like we're just choosing some wide receivers that go at the 2-3 turn, which are T, Garrett Wilson, Tyreek, Marvin Harrison. These are the most common wide receivers to go there. You could easily see Mike Evans being a better pick than all of them this year, right? Like, so it's like, think through where the market's making assumptions. And, you know, like, yeah, can you naturally get uniqueness? But this is an example of trying to control your uniqueness, right? You're trying to purposely do it. Now, obviously, what would be better, but you cannot control it, is to get Mike Evans at the 4-5 turn. Like, if you just got a lucky draft there. That's not something you can control, though. I think,
but that is the EV of getting the one draft where that happens. I think we should push Burrow, but I don't care.
Let's do Burrow. I'm only gonna have one chase in the pug probably. I'll do Burrow.
You know what? That's actually a good point. You just made a good point in this. I think we just take Hampton.
I'm cool with Hampton.
You actually just made a great point, which is that in this contest, smaller, fewer teams, lower boundaries needed to advance in the playoff weeks. Trying to hit the super mega team, not as important.
This is really not that valuable. And it's like,
well, it's valuable if it happened, but it's not nearly as important.
Right, but you could see the 6-7 turn, which is ADP 72. It's pretty easy to see these guys outscoring, like Ricky Pearsall, you could see him being the wide receiver 1. David Montgomery could have a good, Judkins literally was drafted ahead of Travion Henderson. Diggs, you could see Debo falls there, Jennings falls there sometimes. So, it's like DK Metcalf is who we're sacrificing for Joe Burrow, and like Jalen Waddle. And it's like that could just not be that valuable to even have that uniqueness when Burrow does fall.
Yeah. So we've got how do you feel about Hampton? Some people are still scared of Najee. You're on the record as not being scared of Najee, but where are you at there?
I'm not scared of Najee long run. I'm kind of surprised that Hampton's falling. Like, I just kind of thought that there's a lot of anti-bias to like James Cook from like what I would call more like your corner of the internet. And what could easily happen is like Cook doesn't show up and starts falling in price. I don't think he should, but
it's already happening.
Well, it's voluntary, so it's like voluntary is
voluntary. No, I mean I guess Shield Wall took him at 38 here, but I've anecdotally my last couple of drafts
he falls to the 4-5 sometimes. Yes.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I'm not worried about Najee long, like for playoff pod contests. I'm not worried about Najee at all, right? Like,
yeah,
I want Hampton. He's a first round running back. There's not that many of those guys. And I just believe that the coaching staff of the Chargers are going to see what they're getting from Najee, and they're going to be like, this ain't it, my friend. And I had another thing I wanted to say, but I don't remember now. What are your vibes of Hampton? You getting worried or not?
No. In fact, I think that Hampton is likely to be one of the we look back at the end of the season and we go, a first round running back was going in the late 4th round on a team that is going to run the piss out of the ball, has an unbelievable offensive line. Greg Roman's the offensive coordinator, and we were scared of Najee Harris. Najee Harris is who we were scared of. We were worried that the ghost of J.K. Dobbins would re-sign with the Chargers. I mean,
which I still think is unlikely. I think what happens is post June 1st, Dobbins gets picked up. I think June 1st is kind of like a waiting day for these vets.
Yeah, there's that weird thing with his the tag or whatever.
Yeah, but that's
Which
not till
I
like mid-June.
yeah, I don't fully understand that, and I'm not gonna
It's for
pretend.
comp picks. Elijah Moore got hit with the
Yeah,
same tag.
it's the same thing as the Elijah Moore deal. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I think Dobbins is going to get scooped, but no, yeah, I'm with you there. Really want and I don't think Najee's like as Najee falls in price, I will be mixing them in some just for like humility reasons, and also in the event Hampton gets hurt, right? Like, or in the event that Najee just gets me to the playoffs, maybe he's the goal line back for whatever reason. I don't know, but yeah, I'm kind of surprised that like an example. I know what I was going to say. Let's make our picks first, though.
I think Golden or Reed for one of them.
I'm still a little bit Reed over Golden.
I'm taking a humility based approach there. I have Golden ranked way ahead of ADP, but I'm doing some humility there.
You want to do both? You want to do a running back?
We could do both, or we could do. I'm trying to see if we have any correlation here. I'm not really seeing it. Golden or Judkins.
Yeah, that is a tough call. We're gonna do Golden, but
yeah,
the double rookie running back. Judkins, you just don't feel warm and fuzzy about, but you could see him being a good pick. On the Hampton point, what I wanted to make is literally we've seen this before. Jonathan Taylor's rookie year, he was actually back when running backs were more expensive. He was a 3-4 turn. This was my first year of best ball because the guy who tore his Achilles for the Colts, Mac something, no, running back.
Running Marlon Mack. Mack. I thought you were.
Marlon
I thought you were thinking. I thought you were thinking. Mikel Lashore, who was he was a Lion. Yeah.
No. So Marlon Mack was still with the Colts. He ended the year as the starter, and it's not the same thing as Najee signing there, but because Marlon Mack was there, Jonathan Taylor was like a 3-4 turn pick, despite being a borderline first round pick. And then Marlon Mack did tear his Achilles at the end of the year, so obviously he won in price. And we also kind of saw this with Breece Hall. I don't even remember who was there Breece Hall's rookie year, but was it just because he was off the ACL?
Brother, Dalvin Cook.
Oh, no.
Cook
got mid-season.
No.
That was the next year.
I actually just conflated two things. Dalvin Cook was 2023. In 2022, he did get injured. Let's see who. I actually do not remember the other running back on the team.
Breece tore his ACL in college and came in, right? And he was
the other running back was Michael Carter, by the way.
I mean, Breece tore his ACL's rookie year too. He was on my winning 5-5-5 team. I know that team had Saquon and Breece at the
I don't think Breece didn't get hurt in college though.
No, why was he a 3-4 turn pick or 5th round pick?
Because Michael Carter was there.
I mean, is that a serious thing?
Yes.
That's the only. I think there's something else we're forgetting.
No, because remember Michael Carter and Breece Hall were college teammates. And he was he was a 4th round pick.
I was jamming Breece that year, and it was so right, but he did tear. He tore his ACL like week 8 or something.
Yeah, yeah. But it was Michael Carter, by the way. That was why, because they were college teammates, and Carter was the guy the year before. And Carter had a good rookie season. He had 900 yards and 5 touchdowns in a timeshare with, this will be good. Remember this guy?
He was a borderline 1st round pick.
Ty Johnson. Ty Johnson.
No, yeah, Ty Bill's faithful.
And Tevin Coleman.
Yeah, there was that weird. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, clearly the fantasy industry used to be much worse than it is now, even. And hey, we're really wrong sometimes. But yeah, the Hampton price, he is cheaper than Breece and JT. Now, I will say Najee, I don't like Najee. I never have. except his rookie year I drafted him.
Also, hold on. I need to correct myself. I just got Javonte and Brees mixed up in my head.
Okay.
Embarrassing.
Anyways, I've never been a Najee guy. He's better than Michael Carter. I'll give Najee that.
Well, and his coaches are gonna think he's better than Michael.
I'm gonna make Warren for one of our picks here. You want to go also?
Definitely. Actually, shouldn't we shoot the moon here? Isn't Tracy a better pick? Because we're pretty far behind. What do you think?
We're not far behind at wide receiver at all.
We're far behind at running back.
Yeah, I'm cool with Tracy or Mason. I like Tracy a lot.
I don't like Tracy a lot, and I do like Mason a lot, but I feel like Tracy is a better fit for this team. Because we're gonna have to find a ceiling here, and Mason is 70% of the time he's like a 120-point scorer.
Yeah, and in the seasons Aaron Jones gets hurt, he's slash like Jordan Mason could just Jamal Williams a season. You know?
Yes, I have Mason ranked ahead of Tracy. I have Mason, like Mason is a good pick for me in my rankings, but I mean, Tracy could just be a 250 touch guy with nothing happening.
Yeah, where are you at on Scatable? I think the Scatable ADP is insane.
I've got him ranked well after I just did a rankings update this morning. I think I've got him ranked in the 110s, maybe.
I have him ranked 130.
The thing is,
what are we trying to win here? A non-blazing fast running back on a bad team and competing with a guy who, yeah, he fumbled the ball somewhat, but like first year playing running back effectively, converted wide receiver who did some things well for a team that's probably going to need some juice. You know, like I don't get this. Like obviously what could happen is Scatabo's the guy, and I still don't know what we're winning then. You know, like maybe we're winning like a 12-point running back, but I don't understand this like Scatabo. Like I see him go in the like at the 7-8 turn sometimes.
I mean that. I guess the thing people are thinking is that
how many goal line touches will the Giants have?
Yeah.
You know, like I'd rather have the Tracy's ability to house it from 25 yards than the goal line back on the Giants.
Now, what I guess the big interesting thing is that Scatabo probably, I would say right now, is the favorite to play the passing downs, which you would not think. You'd think, oh, Tracy's a converted wide receiver, like he should definitely be. I would bet Scatabo is likely to get those down because he's big, he's sturdy, he's a very good PFF pass blocking grade, and
didn't he go later in the draft than was expected to? Like, wasn't he expected to go?
Well, actually, I think probably he went earlier than I thought. Like, so coming into the draft before the combine and everything, I thought he could be a round 2 pick. Then the combine, everything happens. I'm like, this guy might be a freaking UDFA. So a 4th round pick with his combine stuff.
The way people were talking about him pre-draft, I was expecting 3rd round plus.
I mean, he is really good. Like, it doesn't make any sense that he is because you look at the way he plays and you look at all that. And you're like, dude, there's no way. But he's like a very effective football player. He really is.
I mean, literally, he could play 0 snaps this year. And Devin,
yeah, he just might. He might not have the NFL juice, though. He really might not have the juice.
Okay, Tootin, a lock for us. That's a gift.
Yeah.
I like the tight ends.
I mean, I think we should just take Love, right?
Yes, we should.
Like I would prefer to take Loveland and then try and push it, but we'll be so tilted if we don't get Love.
Yeah, but I think we actually might have. Like my vibe in this room is we would have gotten Love at the like. It's similar to the Bengals thing, but happens even more. Where it's like if people don't have Love, you can push it. Tootin is a guy I don't have enough in Best Ball Mania for whatever reason. I'm going to try very hard to fix that.
Tootin, I think, is my most drafted player right now.
Yeah. Feels good. I think it's just why I don't have a lot of him is because I'm generally hitting quarterback here. I'm hitting like I've been taking Mason and Tracy and Warren still when I need a running back, and what I'm going to start doing is just taking Tootin sometimes. You know, I don't know.
So I got scared with Tootin for like a day when the fumbling thing happened, and then I said, okay, the alternative is Travis Etienne, so I think it's probably going to be fine.
Yeah, everyone
like
has
at
fumbling
the end,
issues there.
yeah.
I don't have any ETN either, and I want some ETN. Scatabo is a guy who I'm like, look, if Scatabo, I have 0, I'm not going to have any unless we get some crazy August steam, and I'm comfortable if that guy buries me. Like if the Giants, if Dart turns the Giants into the Commanders this year, okay, and Scatabo is the running back and he's scoring touchdowns, like fine, all right, I was wrong. I can be, we can be wrong. But
Bigsby, I've been getting talked into. I was really out on Bigsby, but like if I just want to make, I did a video on the Jaguars backfield, and he was better than I remembered. It wasn't just the 165-yard touchdown against the Colts. Like he was, and they were giving him some goal line stuff. But the big thing is ETN was just so bad, like so bad, man. Like he played way more than I thought. Like in my mind, I was thinking, oh, he was injured all year.
Well, that's the like lone hope for him, is that you're hoping, like I think he had a shoulder injury week 3, and you're hoping that combined with some other phantom injuries are not a thing. Because he was like kind of okay the years before. He was like, for multiple years running, he was like pretty okay.
The bigger point that we should be making, and this is a good seg from talking about Scatabo to Tootin, which is that the round 4 running backs this year are not round 4 running backs of a normal year. The thing you and I talked about happening before the draft did happen, where a bunch of these teams were like, these dudes are all the same. We do not need to take them in the 2nd round. We do not need to take them in the 3rd round. We will take whichever dude gets there. I think the best evidence of that was Woody Marks to the Texans, where they were like, oh, yeah, we'll just take our guy whenever. The Texans saw they saw the running back wave happening, and they traded a future 3rd to trade up into the 4th to get Woody Marks.
I mean, the Texans just might be a square front office with like some of the moves they've made, and so I don't know how much we should weight what they're doing, but I do like. I'm going to write an article on the late round picks, and this is like, I'm not taking the Devin Neals right now. I'm not taking too much DJ Giddens. I'm not taking these guys who went in the.
Oh, DJ Giddens, I think is a super jam.
Could easily be behind Herbert, right? Like possible.
I think we've seen a lot of opportunities for Khalil Herbert to matter to an NFL team.
Yeah, he feels better than Devin Neal because
the Cleveland or the Cincinnati Bengals decided to give Chase Brown the ball on every single snap for a month instead of giving the ball to Khalil Herbert once.
Well, he was acquired midseason, and they were playing for their playoff life there. I think we just kind of jam 2 tight end. Oh, no, let's do 1 tight end, and let's do Ray.
What if we do Tootin and Bigsby?
That's fine too, but I want to do Ray here. We did that. I think we did that last draft. Let's do Ray, and I'm feeling. You want Ferger likely?
I don't care. Do whatever you want, just not Pitts.
I know. I'm gonna lower my ranks, man.
I was trying to like kind of keep the Kyle Pitts hope alive. I'm like, well, he's a deep threat tight end. How bad can it be? They play in the dome. Penix looked like he was kind of turning things around. We get to organized team activities, and the coaches are like, yeah, man, it sure would be nice if Kyle Pitts like ran or did anything or moved or was effective in any way, shape, or form.
I mean, this could happen, right? Like, to me, what you're doing if you're taking, like, I just think the market is gambling a ton of zeros right now, and there's players I feel either are not zeros, aka Darius Slayton, like if I need a different position, or what I could do is I could say, hey, you know who I can just take the opposite stand of the market. And so, for example, like instead of Devin Neal, I'm taking Kendre Miller right now, right? And it's like, okay, if I'm wrong, I can fix it in August, right? But if I'm right, I have both the unique May ADPs. I have the guy who got the higher draft capital. I have a reason to think that the last coaching staff just specifically did not like Kendre, and, okay, probably these running backs went far lower in the draft. I mean, you're the Devin Neal guy, but like 6th round is not what I was hoping for in the big board. So
no.
I'm taking kind of like a game theory leverage where it's like, yeah, I have some data for Kendre. I can take a guy like Keaton Mitchell, who's not being drafted a lot, instead of like Devin Neal is being drafted at near a 100% rate right now. So if people want to confidently jam a guy who is maybe the RB2, maybe the RB3, go for it. I'm going to just simply be taking different players who are not being drafted 100% of the time. And going back to the uniqueness discussion, what's even more valuable than, I mean, I don't know if I would say more, but equal value to like what we did with Chase and Evans is to simply take a player that the field's not drafting and have that player be good, right?
Right.
And it's not that hard to do, right?
No. Although I would say the CLV stuff that you're going to get is going to be more with the Devin Neals, the DJ Gittinses, right? Because if we get confirmation one way or the other, Kendre Miller gets cut, Khalil Herbert gets cut, any of these things, then you're talking about combinations that are probably not going to be possible, in August.
Probably, but what we've seen time and time again is risers at running back don't go up enough. Chuba went from like the 16th to the 10th, right? Like,
right.
Ramondre that 1 year didn't go up enough. Literally the only guy I remember who went up like way too much was Henderson the year that Cam Akers tore his ACL or whatever injury he had. He went from like a 15th round pick to a 3-4 turn, which was insane, right? So it's like you can do what you want, folks, but I think it's really, really bad what the market is continuing to do in 100% of drafts right now.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying feels wrong, right? It feels bad to just like not do what the ADP is telling. Like, okay, Marshawn Lloyd is a guy I like. Will Shipley is a guy I like. But it's like Hunter, Neal easily could be the 3s on their team. So I don't want to be gambling on a lot of guys who could just easily be the RB3. Let's do Freiermuth. No, we'll do Gesicki. You want to do another tight end?
I think we do Gesicki for sure. Are the bye weeks good? Are we good on that?
I mean, I don't care about the bye weeks for this, but do you want a 3rd tight end or just 2?
I think probably just 2. I think we take Jalen Wright and be done at running back.
Okay. He was a guy I was way above. Like when I had him ranked 171, his market rank was 200. And I think you and like Sam Sherman changed that for me or something. So now I'm going to go update my ranks and have to I was 20 spots ahead of ADP. Same thing with Roschon, was 20 spots ahead. So the market's catching up a little bit.
Yeah. Roschon I take like every time. He just is like, I don't know.
He feels good.
He's definitely going to have a role.
How are you going to feel if J.K. Dobbins signs there?
I think that's like worse for Swift. I mean, it's obviously not good for Roschon, but it's really bad for Swift.
It's not good for anyone, right? Except for Dobbins.
Yeah.
There's been some weird steam from like Bills. I wouldn't call them reporters, more like just like people who like talk about the Bills on podcasts and stuff. But there's been some weird steam about like, what if we trade James Cook to the Bears and maybe we get DeAndre Swift in return? I think it's foolish I just don't think the Bills are I think the Bills view themselves as a Super Bowl team, obviously, and they think Cook is somewhat important for that. So I think he's going to be part of the squad.
Sure. The Jalen Wright thing is basically, I'm just like, I like Ollie Gordon, but like I got a lot of data points that the NFL didn't really like Ollie Gordon. So I guess it's just like, how scared am I of Alexander Mattison? And the answer is not very scared.
Yeah, for me, it's just like if Achane gets hurt, Wright's the closest 1-to-1 as far as he's the only one who's like really fast, and and he was a former 3rd or 4th round pick last year, right? So yeah, I'm not, and Wright is a RB2/3 that I am comfortable doing the gamble just because one guy's Alexander Madison and the other guy Ollie Gordon didn't get a lot of draft capital, right?
Right.
And the market was not at launch. Like I have a lot of contests with Wright in the 18th, a ton. Dobbins to Washington would also be very, very nutted. That would be very nice.
Dude, if Dobbins goes to Washington, I am gonna be I'm gonna be
rich.
punching myself. No, I don't have a ton of Dobbins.
I have a ton. I've been closing my eyes and doing it.
I've got Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt,
He can't go like Davis. You got to go for a little bit of CLV right now. You just got to take some teams with Keenan, Dobbins, even Amari Cooper, if you're drafting any volume in May, because it's May.
I've been taking some Keenan. No,
Dobbins
no
is the one I feel best about.
Yeah.
All right. Andre Yoshivas, I got to lower him in the ranks because the steam around.
I think we just take Wicks too.
Yeah.
Just super mega love stack.
I do that sometimes. I still like Andre Yoshivas' chance to score points, but I am worried that Jermaine Burton's getting a lot of positive buzz. When
you are a player of Yoshivas's skill and role, going from 90% of the routes to 30% of the routes, you have no outs. You know what I'm saying? Like Yoshi's got to be on the field 90% of the time to
we've got a lot of outs. He's got Jermaine lighting his apartment on fire. He's got Jermaine pushing Joe Burrow in a meeting. He's got Jermaine, Jermaine doing dumb things. And also maybe he's not as good as we thought. But yeah, the biggest worrying thing, because I do think Andre Yoshivas does something well, and he's still a young player that came from Princeton. So could he 1 in a million Juwan Jennings it? Probably, right? Eventually.
Could he 1 in a million Juwan Jennings it?
AKA 4th year breakout, 5th year breakout, whatever it was. Yeah, I would say so. He's blazing fast. That's something I like about him too. And he plays for the pass happiest team. But yeah, it's just worrisome that he could be the 4 and not the 3. Because Jermaine is supposed to be very talented, just a knucklehead.
Is he that fast? Yeah, he's pretty fast.
He's like a 9.7 RAS guy.
Yeah, because he weighs 205. He was not a track sprinter. He was a heptathlete.
Or he's a track guy, whatever.
Heptathlete is different though. Heptathlete is more endurance.
Let's pull up the RAS.
He's a 4.43 at 205. I mean, it's not nothing. He's also not young, by the way. This is going to be his age 26 season.
9.96 RAS, 4.43 40, 205. Seen a lot of green. This is what I like about it.
I mean, yeah, you would hope so. The dude played junior varsity football at Princeton and got drafted.
Let's say
junior varsity football to the NFL is actually crazy.
What do you mean junior he wasn't a starter at Princeton?
Not for his first 2 years. He played on the junior varsity team, which I don't even know how that works. I've never heard of such a thing.
Burn is a nothing. He wasn't even good when he played last year.
I mean, he
was a rookie. He also I don't know. I think it's a coin flip right now between Yoshivas and Burton. And again, I don't want to be taking a ton of coin flip bets if I can control it right now, right? But yeah, I think this Dobbins ADP is egregious compared to Dobbins scored 189 points last year. Just getting a guy who at least can do that. That's pretty nice in the 16th round.
Yeah.
And it's not
Yeah.
like,
I mean, he was definitely a good pick last year.
yeah, I wasn't into it. So maybe it is a little bit of whiplash, like, oh, I didn't do it. Now I got to do it. But like, I mean, he should be the healthiest he's ever been, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Theoretically.
We believe in second chances. We believe in third chances. We believe in fifth chances.
we believe in fourth chances.
I don't think we need the running back. We don't need the tight end.
No, I agree. I think we live a little. I think he'll be very low owned in this contest, Liam.
We have the double unique. We got the unique Burton and the unique Mike Evans combo.
Double
so
unique.
I like it. I got to get out of here to look at it. And I like Love a lot to rebound.
I don't like, I'm not like head over feet for him, but if they just run into a season where they're, 16th in the NFL in PROE instead of 31st, then yeah, it's gonna be a good situation.
And it's just like there's a lot of ambiguity with him getting hurt week 1 against the Eagles and then playing through it.
Right.
Burrow, I mean, he is closer to a pure pocket passer where like any guy who's doing that just needs to throw the touchdowns to your point, but I like his chances. Burrow and Love, Hampton, Warren, Tracy, Tootin, Ray Davis, Wright. I like it a lot, honestly. These are the type of like 0 RB teams. You get like a quasi anchor, and then you hit some guys who almost certainly have a role. And then, a guy who maybe doesn't have a role, maybe does.
I think we should have taken Bigsby instead of Ray Davis. Not that Ray Davis is a good pick, but I think I love the combination of having Tootin and Bigsby.
Yeah, we did it together the last week's draft. I like it too, but why I took Ray is sometimes Tank makes it all the way back.
Yeah.
And personally, I have a lot of Cook, and I know it's a somewhat fragile bet I'm making where it's just like something that could happen is Ray gets the goal line work. So for my portfolio, I want to be, and I have a lot of Tank.
Yeah,
where
Ray, I mean, don't get me wrong. Ray has like James Cook holdout outs, James Cook injury outs, goal line outs, like big play outs. He's got like Ray Davis is a good pick.
Yeah. Chase, Evans, Rice, Reed, Golden, Slayton, Wicks, Burton. I mean, even if these 3 guys are zeros, like this by itself could be good enough. Likely Gesicki, which Gesicki's a proven winner in 2 tight end builds. Gesicki and no fan could do it. He could do it with Likely. So I like the squad. Let's look up let's see if we're getting any week 1 Rice projections.
I bet there's no chance, right?
50
no, there you go. Yards. I mean, I would lock that. I would lock that higher in right now.
Lower than Brandon Ayuk, which again, I kind of think underdogs free roll in this.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it's not a free roll because they'll reimburse your money if he doesn't play, but.
Well, I would say right now the lower there is actually a smash because what you're hoping for is that he is active but not 100% healthy. So he runs 17 routes or something.
Juwan Jennings, we're getting nothing. Pearsall.
Interesting.
We're getting nothing. So they don't. I mean, who knows what this is? If the Kittle, we're getting nothing either. It's kind of weird. We're just getting Ayuk at a very high thing.
Yeah.
Well, let's do a pug again.
All right. These are your bullets, brother.
I know. I've done too many best ball manias though, so I don't want to do that. I've done a lot of. We'll probably do one eliminator after this, maybe.
I have. Let's see. I have
I'm
another.
gonna leave the 30-second lobby and go to the 20-second.
Let's see. I've got. When do I have a hard out? Okay, I don't have a hard out until 2 p.m. your time. So we're chilling.
Probably go another hour. Don't think we've ever gone 3.
Yeah.
Ray was a little banged up, and Ty Johnson does serve a role. which is he can pass block, he can get short yardage, and he can catch the football. And really, the pass blocking was what got him on the field. But obviously, Ray Davis was a rookie last year, so there's room for him to grow.
Well, and Ty Johnson, like we saw it. James Cook missed a game. We saw what happened. Ray Davis got 20 rushes in that game, 21 rushes in that game.
Yeah, when Cook missed the game, Ray was and a lot of teams do this where it's like Ty was the effective RB2,
right?
Because he
but then when the starter gets hurt, the third guy gets promoted to the starter's job. The running back 2 stays in their role.
Yeah, exactly. Which is the more valuable thing for a handcuff. Maybe we'll do a super flex. We could do that too. Good luck, my friend. Yeah, Tyreek Hill doing some weird media tours with like streamers and whatnot. I think Tyreek's career record against the Bills is like 2-9, 2-7, something like that. He was trash talking the Bills, so I don't know. How does Tyreek's media tour impact at all? Him hating on Travis Hunter?
No, it's just it's just very funny. The dude loves to Tyreek, man, he loves a headline.
Yes, Ty was the 2-minute back because he can pass block, and Cook wasn't. So, but, stuff changes. What if Cook, I don't know, 3 pounds bigger, better at pass blocking?
Right. Who are you wanting to take here at 10?
Whoever. Did you see that? I think my Discord, someone was talking about Neighbors having a foot injury.
Yeah, he's not participating in OTAs with a toe injury.
Something that he had in college.
It was a hamstring injury, right? That was what he had in college. But yeah, I remember whatever he was banged up with last year was extending from college. I've been taking McCaffrey here.
I'm cool with anyone. Nico, I like. Brian, CMC, Gene T. Cool with McCaffrey. We're going to get unique with the next pick. Like, something I'm not willing to do is there's no amount of positive reporting CMC could receive that I would take him over like Jahmyr Gibbs.
Right.
Later. Like, I'm just not going to do that. So, because obvious, whatever, people can say whatever they want. He has a lot of systemic risks this year of just getting hurt in season. So, Isaac Guerrero showed something. All right, let's get somewhat unique here.
CMC Lad, CMC Bucky.
Bucky. Want to do the anchor? There's no bear to do it with. Let's do Bucky. Put our money where our mouth is, or at least my money where my mouth is. That uniqueness is good. Having the only CMC Bucky team seems good, my friend.
Dude, didn't you know we had the only CMC Bucky team in the Pug finals, dude?
Tampa's playoff schedule, Atlanta, Carolina, Miami. That could be a stretch where Bucky goes off. Like, could define the fantasy playoffs. CMC's playoff schedule, Tennessee, Indy, Chicago. I don't know how to feel about facing the Bears, but Tennessee and Indy, probably 2 very bad teams. CMC Achane would have been unique too. Not nearly as like I do that all the time. CMC Achane is a natural pairing to happen, particularly for the drafter who just wants running backs, which there are a lot of those people. Like if they take CMC and then Henry goes, they take Achane always.
Yes. Yeah, I think you're.
And I like Achane more than Bucky in a 1-to-1 perspective, but Bucky could define the fantasy.
Bucky, it's just like, yeah, sure. In a vacuum, I like these things once, but it's like, I think an interesting way to view these contests is through the lens of like a battle royale. Like, what would you do? In a battle royale, you would never take exactly the guys at ADP every time. You would never be like, oh, every time I take Nico, I'm also taking London. You like sometimes because things get funky.
I think this is too like inside. This is too brainy. Where I mean, newsflash: some years you're going to need the running backs to make the finals and win. Like there are going to be years you play best ball where having CMC and Henry, they each score 30 points a week. Week 15, week 16, week 17. It's the nuts. You need it. And they're making the finals, regardless of their structure. And I don't think taking running backs just means someone's a bad drafter.
I mean, it's kind of funny. Obviously, the people who are watching 9 hours of best ball streams a week are the people who are mostly taking the wide receivers. But guess what? Those people got fucking killed last year, So knowing drafting well-structured teams that are well thought out is no guarantee of positive results.
I mean, I think when I go RBRB, I'm going to be able to identify the wide receivers better than the field as well, right? Like, if you're a 0 RB guy, you should be like, well, I'm going to know the wide receivers to take,
Right.
Better.
Guy in this room, here's a great example. B-Spurf, who actually is a viewer of, I think, both of our channels. Great example of Tyreek is fine.
I mean, I think you just got like,
yeah,
anytime you get maybe the RB1 wide receiver one, like, why not?
A great example of what we were talking about way earlier of just like the best way to create unique teams is catching the crazy fallers.
Yeah, the
Bijan, A-Chain, Jonathan Taylor. That is a super unique combo. All really well projected. And he didn't have to do anything. A computer could have drafted that. That could have been just off ADP.
And the only reason he got that is because I'm assuming DJ's watching our stream and he heard me talking about uniqueness. He sees me doing uniqueness. He goes, I'm going to do that too. I'm going to take Devontae Adams, allowing the JT fall. And this guy, I guess, just preferred Terry. But when 7 people enact uniqueness in your draft, that's a time not to get unique. Take your pick.
Hunter. Dude, we're gonna have bad team chemistry because Tyreek said Travis Hunter is gonna be ass.
Taking DJ Moore would have been fine too. I like Jameson Williams.
Yeah.
A huge butterfly effect of if Davis had just made that Jameson Williams video later, would he have fallen in drafts? Because the other ranking providers were low on him. I don't understand the folks who prefer Tet to Hunter.
I don't really get it. I mean, I get it if you are very concerned about Travis Hunter playing cornerback. I'm not really that concerned about.
Are these people just like plugging their ears and their eyes as far as like how Hunter's being deployed at the Jags practices right now? The fact that he's like only practicing with the offense. What's probably going to happen with Hunter is he plays third downs in key situations. End of the game, end of half. Maybe if
I guess you could argue it if you're like a huge Brian Thomas Jr. guy and you think like there's just not enough volume available, but also the Jaguars could have 100 more team passes than the Panthers and just be far more successful in offense as well.
Yeah, I like the Panthers' chances to be a much better offense this year, but they could be terrible again,
Right.
Like that could happen.
Yeah. Now, I'll grant.
I will highlight any comment like this because I just want this propaganda to spread.
Yeah, I mean, Brett. I'm sorry, man, but I just can't respect someone who thinks that way.
Good point, Brett.
I just, I do think that people should think more critically about what they're actually saying when they say that. Like you're saying
Trying
that
to get,
this
he's trying
guy,
to get highlighted on stream. No fault with that.
yeah, I just like De'Ami Brown is like a multi-year NFL loser. You know what I'm saying?
He's having good camp buzz.
Sure.
Less target comp. Here comes Adam Thielen's 35% targets per out run. Just under Giffen. Tet. I mean, I don't dislike Tet. Obviously, I like Tet too. I just prefer the guy who went second in the draft and plays for the Jets. I think Waddle
just
is
do
a
Waddle.
no-brainer, unless you're a Ridley guy.
Right. No, I'm Waddle here.
It does feel systemically, if things go wrong for the Dolphins, this is Tua's last year, so it's like there are outs where the Dolphins are one of the worst teams in the league. Like that's in the range where we're just like, oh my God.
I don't know. I feel like it's more likely that they win 10 games and look a little bit similar to what they were 2 years ago versus what they were last year.
Absolutely outs for them to be awesome and make the playoffs. But like, it's not that hard to see like, oh man, they lost every game in the division. And, one O lineman got hurt. So the offense is blown.
I like Addison. I have Addison ranked ahead of Olave. I think Jennings is, any of these guys is fine, I think.
Yeah, they're all fine. Let's do Jennings for the teammate pairing.
There you go.
Athletic beat reporter for the 49ers released the most non-article I've ever read. Said basically last year what happened is when Ayuk went down, teams started playing press coverage on them.
Right.
And Pearsall is like the only guy who could beat that. Basically,
yeah, bigger guy or whatever.
He's fast or something. Like basically that like Juwan couldn't do that. So
sure. Yeah. I mean Jennings theoretically should be the one who is he's like the zone beater who like does it off like intelligence, but he's not super athletic, so he's not going to be beating man press coverage.
Addison is obviously a big NFL talent, but also you kind of think he has to be due for some negative touchdown regression,
Negative
right?
touchdown regression.
Can he score 10 touchdowns every year?
Yeah. I mean, what Jefferson had 190 targets and 8 touchdowns last year.
There's definitely a world where Hunter is a little bit of a silent killer. However, I still think there is, even in that year, I think you're going to have playoff outs because I like Hunter's chances on like 4 catches to have 100 yards and a touchdown, which is not as much as Tet's game. Like Tet, the Drake London stuff's a little overblown, but like that's kind of how he's going to get you. He's going to be the volume wide receiver, which is not quite as valuable on underdog unless you're scoring touchdowns.
Right. I mean, I guess at the end of the day, like that is the thing that really matters for all these guys is touchdowns. Underdog is so weighted towards touchdowns.
Absolutely.
Jennings might not be a great touchdown guy.
I kind of think he is. Like that's what has me into him is that I can see years where Jennings scores 10 touchdowns on the 49ers where it's like their defense is going to probably be much worse. They lost a lot of guys. They're probably going to have to throw the ball. And I could just see like, if Kittle is not that guy, if Ayuk's not that guy, if it's not Pearsall, I could see Jennings having 6+ touchdowns, whatever. Just the quality of the 49ers offense has me into him.
I mean, he had 3 touchdowns in a game. So yeah.
Like, and I like Olave quite a bit, mostly because he's been a second-round pick forever, and I don't think things have like changed drastically with Derek Carr retiring. But yeah, The touchdown upside has me a little bit worried.
Yeah, which I think is reasonable, right? what do we want to do with this pick?
I mean, Brett, man, hang it up. Going from college to the NFL is a big thing for anyone.
Jones,
I don't hate
Swift,
Jones.
they're all the same.
I like Aaron Jones. Like Mooney's not
Sure.
even here, so
Yeah.
I
Fine
like
with me.
Mason a lot, but like Jones again, explosive player, and I like to just bet on good teams. The Vikings are a good team.
Vikings are a good team. Vikings are a good team that has like the nutted setup. KOC, all the dome games. It's a very good setup for them.
I saw someone tweet out the playoff odds via DraftKings.
Mm-hmm.
You want to do the full Dolphins thing?
Sure. Yeah. Ship it.
Why not? Dolphins up, folks.
Betting on Mike McD.
Also, it's like if one of them's a bust, but two of them are quasi league winners in Tyreek Waddle, Jonnu,
Yeah,
like
it doesn't matter. Yeah.
It's worth it, right?
Right. Yeah. 100%.
Like when I face this tier and I don't feel like going like a quarterback, I just take Jonnu sometimes because he showed an ability to be the tight end one in football to end of the year. Like, things could change, but
I mean, like in a vacuum, I don't think I love Jonnu, but in this sort of bet, it's a good one.
I do like Jonnu. I mean, you just don't do what he did. Like it's not like they were somewhat successful funneling targets to him. So it's
the targets, I think the targets to Jonnu were really a symptom of like a totally broken offense.
But what if the offense is good and then also some games McDaniel is like, we're gonna hit him with the change up Jonnu this week. It's like imagine a world where the Dolphins are doing what they were doing the year they were really good.
Right.
But then they have a curveball. They have a curveball that they could do,
I mean, yeah, I think you'll get some of that, right? I think that is probably pretty likely to occur. There we go. New contest.
Dude, Big Loaf emerges victorious.
They tried to keep a good man down, but you can't do it.
If anyone's perpetually online, this guy on Twitter was a little crashing out about the contest options. And let's see. Maybe we'll draft one of these next. Or maybe we'll call this last one.
I bet it's a super flat payout structure.
Hound Dog, $6, 5 entry max. Very similar to the Pug, folks. These are the types you should be going for with a smaller bankroll. 2 out of 12, 1 out of 5, 1 out of 6. Again, a very favorable.
That's super nice.
104-person final, $100 min cash, $20K to first. Again, okay, 10th place is above 10%, so that's somewhat nice. Fourth is 25% of what first gets, so it's a little bit of gut punch to get 5K, not 20, but still a really great contest for the smaller bankrolls. I would definitely recommend that over, for example, a puppy. Unless you want to dream, it's valuable to dream for the 100K. That's what I do.
winning 100K is fun. It's enjoyable. It's enjoyable to have a sweat for 6 figs.
Jonnu could out target Waddle, but Waddle's targets are more valuable because he's super fast and he can, if Waddle catches the ball and runs 80 yards, that takes away targets from Waddle, but he's productive,
Yeah. Yeah. I think Waddle is probably the biggest.
Cool Fields?
Yes, sure. I think Waddle is the biggest potential like rebounder, if that makes sense. Like he's gonna have the widest discrepancy between his points scored from last year to this year.
I like the bet a lot. Very similar to the Olave bet. Guy goes in the second round of fantasy for like 100 years in a row, and now he's a 5th round pick. Fields, just elite single week upside still.
Fields is I mean,
I don't think because he did that, it added it. I think it's just a coincidence. I was making a joke, Steve.
Yeah. What do we want to do? Probably wide receiver, Mims, Bateman, Kirk, Hollywood, something like that.
Kirk's
There's
my
not a
guy.
court. There's not a court. Kirk is fine. Maybe
I mean,
kind of
Tracy, that's a nice value on, but we just don't need it. We need the wide receiver.
I'm trying to think. Kirk was probably better there to cover up for some of the early season stuff if Hunter starts kind of slow, but we also have Waddle and Jennings, so actually I think it's probably
I mean, we're
fine.
making the bet Tyreek is elite. Jennings should be an early season guy. Waddle's not a rookie. And Bateman gets there on touchdowns, but there's no reason that can't start week 1.
Yeah, I think I just have a blank spot in my brain where Bateman goes because I am just so certain that Bateman is like not that different than like Willie Snead on the Ravens, you know? Like he just is there to get the touchdowns that Lamar creates entirely on his own. He's not a bad Bateman is a good pick, like not a bad pick or anything, but you know what I'm saying?
I mean, 756 yards, 9 touchdowns. Plays for the Ravens. I've never really been a Bateman guy, but yeah, I mean, I think he's a fine pick for I prefer Shaheed to him. I think it's close between him, Coleman, Kirk, Hollywood, but
Right.
yeah, just making the bets that the Ravens throw a lot of touchdowns again.
I mean, Kirk is like not one of my picks at all, but he does totally serve a role for teams like this.
Yeah, he's not likely to be like a 40% advance rate guy, but I like his chances to hold off Jalen Noel most of the year, if not all the year.
Sure. Yeah.
We have 500 people watching this. Be sure to like and subscribe to both our streams. Appreciate you folks.
That is 500 people watching a best ball draft on May 28th, man.
That's bullish, man. I know. I'm giving back to the kids at the wrong time, maybe. What are we gonna get in August, man?
Yeah, I was gonna say August. You need to be going.
How many views would we need on a night stream, Davis, for you to do it? If we got 1,000 views every night stream, would you do it? I feel like you would.
It would depend what time of night.
Well, my nights are earlier than your nights.
True.
And you know, I get off at like 5 if I'm.
Yeah, I would be open to doing 6 p.m. or whatever my time.
Well, yeah, it'd be 6 p.m. my time, maybe. I mean, I know we got the Tua thing going, but that's a pretty nice value on May. Let's just take a tight end.
No. Yeah, take a tight end, whichever one. I don't care. Kraft, sure. Yeah.
I mean, we could do 3 quarterback.
No one else is going to take Tua. Tua is undraftable to everyone else.
Well, let's see what the H-hand drafter could do it. I don't think he's going to, but he could. Especially because
Beastburf will stay in his lane. He knows ball.
I mean, it would be defensible for him to do it. Yeah, did you see the Stephon Diggs video on the boat?
Yeah, it's really funny. Giving cocaine to his girlfriend's friends.
That's allegedly, folks. We don't know that.
That's wide receiver 1 life, Liam.
I kind of think if May's still there, we go May, and then we also go Tua the next round, hopefully.
I actually think we just take Tua. I think we're just insanely tilted if he goes. We're tilted.
I'm not that tilted. I'm not that tilted if he goes.
Okay. You know who actually fits here, who I never take? Tyler Warren kind of fits here.
May's gone, so
okay. Yeah, let's just take Tua.
I mean, we're reaching on it.
I forgot we just took Kraft.
It feels a little bad just because Like Ramondre's a guy I like, but it feels
I
bad just
agree. I
because
agree with that. I agree.
it feels bad just because overwhelmingly likely if we took Ramondre, Tua would be here. It's literally his ADP. Um, but whatever, you know. We just need, let's see, 154 ADP. We need like one of these guys to be there and to be better than Ramondre, which feels thin. Like, I don't know. If I wasn't streaming, I would have gone Ramondre there and I would have gambled it on Tua.
Tank Bigsby. Good pick. Algier, good pick. I mean, very easy for me to see scenarios where those guys outscore.
Yeah, I mean, Bijan tears his ACL week 3. You're like, what was I, Ramondre?
What was I doing? I should have. I should have had 27%.
Yeah. And this is the type of thing I think, like, in general, I'm more push the quarterback, but when you got the triple stack, that's a great
Well,
time.
also pushing there's a diminishing returns here. Like, sure, we didn't get Ramondre. Like, okay, that's fine. Really, really low Jaden Blue ranking for you.
I mean, is it not a little egregious what we're doing?
I mean, he's the only guy in that backfield with any athleticism.
There's still time. I know all the beat reporters are saying no one's gonna sign, but I don't know. I'm gonna do a ranking update today.
You're sweating Dobbins.
He's the big one, right? I think.
I mean, but if Dobbins
traded,
I guess if that happens, but Blue is the one who retains outs if that happens. Like Blue has outs to just like score some long touchdowns or whatever because he's fast. There's no outs for Javonte or Miles Sanders if they sign someone.
I think Miles Sanders I would prefer at the 18th round versus Jaden Blue. Like no universe am I taking Jaden Blue over like Christian Kirk. I prefer Isaac Guerendo to Jaden Blue.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, CMC gets Guerendo, Isaac Guerendo is a league winner. What does it take for Jaden Blue to be a league winner?
The coach just decides he's better than Javonte Williams.
Great, and then he averages like 8 points per game. The Cowboys could be terrible. Like that's Dak could not be fully healthy. I know we're jazzed with the Pickett trade. I don't know.
This is not convincing.
It's not the stand I want to make personally.
Yeah, I think it's like honestly one of the easiest stands to make.
Also, I have some shares with him in the last round.
Bigsby.
Yeah, boom.
Or Algier, whatever.
It is a little. We're gonna do Algier, and I'm gonna just because we took CMC.
Yeah, because we're gonna do Algier because we've got 3 guys who are gonna project for points week 1. Like you need to shoot we could totally shoot the moon with a handcuff guy here.
Particularly when I take one of the big running backs, so like Gibbs, CMC, Bijan, Saquon, GT. I like to really short the other running backs. Like not only is it not Bijan you need CMC, but Bijan gets hurt. And so now I have CMC and a running back that's valued in the first round. Or if I have Bijan, like that's when I like to get Will Shipley a lot too.
Yeah. And okay, I was like, oh, maybe we'll get Bigsby anyways, but I should have known better.
I mean, something that I would be entertained is pulling up Will Shipley here, but we need a wide receiver.
Yeah.
Let's do Adam.
I wanted Liggett.
Yeah, I prefer Liggett, but you cool with Thielen?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, Thielen is just like he's just like bait.
I mean, yeah, I don't know how you could assume anyone else is the RB2.
Will Shipley be the guy? Get it?
He was one of my highest drafted players last year. I'll be right back.
All right. I think maybe we should have actually taken Bigsby first and hoped that Algier was gonna get around. I do think Liam's stance on Jaden Blue. It's to me it's more about thinking Jaden Blue sucks because no one thinks Miles Sanders is good. No one thinks Javonte Williams is good, but we're scared of Jaden Blue, who was not a good college player, right? Like, let's just be real. He wasn't, but he was awesome at the combine. He was a little bit bigger than I thought. And we've already seen a shitty running back rack up 1,000 yards and 2 touchdowns. And if, as Sostin says, if the Cowboys are just going to throw the ball for the entire game, Jaden Blue, like if you guys think the Cowboys are going to throw the ball 650 times, Blue is definitely the one you want, because Blue is the explosive passing down back.
I don't know, man. It's just like a little rich for a 5th round rookie.
You think he was a 4th round, right?
Here, I'll pull it up.
And he's a RAS guy. Don't you love RAS?
I love RAS
he was-
guys
he was-
in
he was
the
5th round. He was
17th
5th
round.
round, right.
You know, like in the 17th round, I would be doing it a lot. Let's see. I have this in my best ball resources on my Discord. Okay, here are the running backs drafted this year and the rounds they were taken.
He was a 5th rounder.
Cam Scatabo, 4th round. So was Tootin, top of the 4th, but Tootin's fast. 5th round, Jaden Blue was taken after Jordan James, goes undrafted in the contest, was taken after Dylan Sampson, goes in the last round, was taken after Jarquez Hunter, goes in the last round, was taken after Woody Marks, goes in the last round, was taken after Trevor Etienne, goes undrafted. So I mean, I don't know, man. Like, spot the one that doesn't pattern match as far as how the market's treating them. I get it.
Well, yeah,
It's
because
just-
you have to value a landing spot.
Sure.
And he's got, I mean, there's nothing blocking. There are no blocks.
J.K. Dobbins signs blocked.
I guess, sure, but I'm not, living a future fantasy. Who do you want to do here? J.K. Dobbins, dude. We're fading Jaden Blue. We're taking J.K. Dobbins.
Synergy, man. I mean, I also like, let's pull up Jaden Blue's Raz here.
I think it was fine. I think he's like a 7.
But isn't he like a small dude?
It's not that small.
Should we correlate our olds?
Sure. We could take another quarterback too. There's a Bryce.
I'm happy with Fields and Tua.
Sure. I'm doing a little bit more 3 quarterback stuff this year.
I am not in playoff pod content. I mean, I do it sometimes. Terrible.
What do you mean playoff pods?
Give me 1 second. Jaden Blue, 196 pounds.
He just didn't do any of the stuff.
5'9". Yeah, I mean, yeah, like 196 pounds. That's Cook's weight. That's Achane's weight. So we've seen it, but those guys went a little higher in the draft. Playoff pod contest is like BBM, this puppy, where like the eliminator is like, I prefer 3 quarterback a lot in the eliminator.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Really funny that we have Keenan, Thielen, and Dobbins. So we just have
Correlate your olds, man.
we have a bunch of dudes who are going to be dead in week 7.
But Travis Hunter will bring us to the promised land, and that's all it takes some years. We're going to tack on 2 more wide receivers here is what we're going to do.
Yeah. Our wide receiver room needs, we should take Malik Washington on this team. Just, all in, right?
I've been taking Westbrook Akine over him. What's your thoughts on Washington instead?
If I start taking Nick Westbrook Akine, then truly the right wing slappies will have beaten me entirely. Like they're already getting me to draft 8% of every player. But if they get me to take Westbrook Akeen, then I just will have I'll have no backbone or spine left.
Let's see. Let's look at some early BBMs. I know for a fact I have some Jaden Blue cheap.
Got to pull up the old. You might be thinking big board. He was super
No,
cheap.
this is
in the big
BBM
board.
launch day. 169.
Yeah, decent price.
50 picks after where he goes now or whatever.
I just like the 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th round, whatever. There's no difference. These are all the same thing.
I guess for me, like, what's Blue's ADP? 120?
120s, yeah.
Like that, I still think that 130. So it's like I think some players still matter there, right? Like Garendo, Ramondre, Ray, Spears. I prefer these guys.
Sure, but these are all dudes who have no outs to just being their team starting running back. I think we should just take another Dolphins wide receiver. I don't care which one.
We could take them both.
We should take Alan Lazard.
I did that already in a pug, so whatever. We're getting our Alan Lazard here.
Okay.
We're
not going to get there.
Cooper.
Amari Cooper. Wow. This is the old Liam. If this is our shipper, man.
If this wins, man, I am so happy. You're going to have the printout of this team behind you on the wall.
And it's going to be auto-drafted Amari Cooper.
All right. I don't think we can do Lazard now that we have like every ancient player. So we need some juice.
No, so now we should take Isaac Tesla.
Yeah. Great. That's a great idea there.
All right. I'm gonna pee. I can do one more draft, and I gotta go let my dog out.
Okay. So the squad guys, Fields and Tua. It's fragile, obviously, but Fields got massive upside. We got Tua infinitely stacked. We do have the week 17 correlation of Bucky smashing the Dolphins plus every Dolphins pass catcher, pretty much. CMC, Bucky, Aaron Jones, Algier, Dobbins seems fine. Tyreek Hunter, Waddle, Jennings, Bateman, Thielen, Keenan, Cooper, Tesla. Make sure to correlate your olds, folks. And then Jonnu and Kraft is good. I mean, it's not. Look, we got 9 wide receivers. We only need 5 or 6 of them to be pretty good. Man, that's crazy.
Anytime you can describe your team and say, "Hey, we only need 4 of these guys to be good," it means that your team is fucking cooking.
This is my gift to you because I know that you're not taking the olds now, and I usually
I'm not.
Like in years past, I'm not taking the olds, but I don't know, man. Like Cooper's the one I have the hardest time seeing the rebound from. This team qualifies for senior discounts.
Yeah, wait, this is the AARP team.
I don't know. I could see it working. The Thielen pick does work well with Travis Hunter because we didn't take Tet.
Yeah. You know what we should have done? I like actually pairing Diami Brown with Hunter so that
I like that too.
So that, either early in the season or like if there are weeks where Hunter is playing more on defense or whatever, that means that Brown is getting more routes. You want to do a hound dog?
I think we should do a super flex.
All right. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do a 20-second puppy super flex and get the shipper.
For the people with the low buy-ins, you want to draft with us, now's your chance. The Diami Brown is a guy I drafted like a ton in the big board. And then after Hunter was drafted, I was like, whatever. And now that he's going to buzz again, I'm like, yeah, why not? He's like the clear wide receiver 3 on the Jags. I mean, it could be Parker Washington.
It could be Parker Washington.
Like, who you got in the slot there? I guess that's Diami.
Hunter.
Hunter in the slot?
Yeah.
That's pretty bullish if true. But there was some rub that they wanted to put Brian Thomas in the slot for some easy looks
Yeah,
too.
I don't think it will be. I do not think it will be Hunter, or I do not think it will be Brown. Brown is a classic sacrificial X wide receiver. You know, you throw him on the outside, you say go run your 9 routes, you know, type thing.
Yeah, he was a 0 on my BBM2 winning team.
Yeah.
Even I forgot that. What's the grossest pick you've made this year?
Anytime I've taken Tyler Lockett, who I do kind of like, but it's like obviously Tyler Lockett is not going to be on the winning team, but or contribute to the winning team, but he, you know, he might score 15 points a couple times, you know, in early in the season in a way that makes sense.
I've taken him in drafters total points. I can't get there in a playoff pod contest. I don't know why I'm taking Lockett and Keenan. Like maybe it's bad sign for Lockett and Keenan that they haven't signed yet and Lockett did. Or maybe it's a sign that Lockett's market was a lot less than them. So Lockett had to jump on the opportunity. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Chimere, you know,
right.
actually, you know what? I've taken Chimere Dike a couple times, who's the rookie from Florida on Tennessee.
That's just wish casting. A gross is like Alan Lazard.
Keandre Lambert Smith. I've taken a couple times, who's the Chargers rookie. What do you
I've taken Mike Williams.
Yeah.
I looked up videos of Mike Williams running routes today. I didn't feel great about it.
No, Mike Williams is done as a meaningful NFL player.
We'll see.
So I think we do Gibbs.
It is weird that Gibbs for sure.
I would do Gibbs McCaffrey, honestly.
Is it not weird that the 80 we're not even getting? I don't know. Should we do Baker?
The quarterbacks at the next turn are not going to be that bad.
Okay.
I think we could just do Gibbs.
Let's do Puka.
Wide receivers suck, and like Puka might make it back to us. You only start 2 wide receivers.
Yeah. So we got an anchor.
It's fine. I mean, I basically have not. I've been doing like straight up like. I mean, I've only done like 5. But I've been like totally punting wide receiver, basically like Jordan Addison, wide receiver 1.
Puka's done me well in the past. He could be wide receiver 1 on the year. Anytime you can get the RB1, wide receiver 1. I mean, I get the CMC's totally defensible too. To your point, the structure here is 2 running back, 2 wide receivers. I don't know why they display quarterback on the bottom. A quarterback, a super flex, which can be quarterback included, a regular flex, and a tight end. But like Lamb Gibbs would have been the dream. But Puka Gibbs is pretty close to me.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's just like because the
You worried about Devontae Adams?
No. I'm worried that we just gave up a ton of projected points at quarterback and the like we skipped one of the elite running backs, you know? So it's we like this dude, my dude Jared over here just got Barkley CMC, which is just a crazy.
No, that's not on us. That was on everybody else.
That's on the room. Yeah. Like I think it is good to take a quarterback round 1. What I don't love doing the double tap.
I don't agree that wide receivers are bad picks in Superflex. Like I don't agree. Like you're kind of
not Superflex in general, but just this scoring.
But what you're speaking to is like the mindset in the eliminator right now, which is basically that you just load up at running back and you can get there with like 15 Darius Slaytons or something similar, right? And it's like,
you know what? It's actually I would say Puka still good, but the bad picks are the George Pickenses, the Jalen Waddles, the Chris Olaves, like the guys who are sort of boosted by the scarcity that you get because underdog rooms are so wide receiver heavy. But like, I don't know, like I would like snap take Joe Mixon over George Pickens in this format, you know?
I mean, I like Pickens' ability to give you a separating week, but like, just what Puka allows you to do is just to take less wide. Like we can build a 5 wide receiver room right now, 4 wide receiver room. And I kind of like that flexibility,
Sure. Yeah. But yes, like 4th round BBM wide receivers will be there in round 8 for us or whatever.
Sure. But I still think it's pretty bad to do like what this guy's doing. I don't want to be doing
this. Yeah, that is terrible. Apologies.
You only need to start 2, so it's your 2x your starting limit.
I think you could get it. Yeah, at probably 5. I think you wouldn't want to do 4. I think
I build 6 wide receiver, 5 even sometimes in a regular playoff pod. You could definitely build 4 in this.
Right.
I think we go Herbert May.
I think that's great. Yeah, I think that's a total smash.
And honestly, like I don't feel the need for another quarterback. Like I'm not going to acquiesce and like take Tyler Shuck at the next turn.
No, but I mean, you know who the singular best pick in this is?
Rodgers,
Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones, yeah. I mean, it depends how cheap they are, but yeah. Like
I got Daniel Jones in the first one yesterday in the 13th round. I think he's more like a 10th round pick now, but I mean, still.
Yeah, I think comboing Richardson and Jones is quite interesting too.
Richardson goes early.
I just think people like overrate. You can only start 2 quarterbacks a week, and they're overrating the amount of times quarterbacks score 30 points, 40 points. You know what I mean? Where it's like, okay, Herbert and May, we'll get some like 20-point weeks and a 15-point week. And that can be enough if you're smashing out at the other positions.
Yes. Yeah. And what I mean, what doing one of these later quarterbacks would do, like, let's see. So this dude, Jared only has 1 quarterback right now. He's got Barkley, McCaffrey, Brock, McBride. If he hits on, I don't know, this year's version of Gardner Minshew, or like if he finds a starting quarterback in round 10 and then takes, Flacco and Kirk Cousins or whatever, he's smashing you every week in projected points, just like killing you, because every week that Shadur Sanders starts, even if he's the lowest projected start, this is a good way to say it. If Shadur Sanders starts and is the worst projection out of all 32 quarterbacks, he would still be projected as a top 15 skill position player ish, roughly, something like that. So he's just making up so much points on you.
Yeah. So like, I mean, with our team, I would want to build just 3 quarterbacks a lot of the time, unless there's like some players who the market doesn't value. Like, for example, if Daniel Jones was like a last round, this is 20 rounds too. My God, that makes it even less appealing, just having to draft longer.
20-second clock though. 20-second clock is so big.
Like Kirk Cousins in the 20th round is pretty good, I think.
Oh yeah.
No, it's not total points. It's
not total points, no. Normal playoff.
The Superflex marathon would be a disaster. That would I would not be interested in that.
I don't even know how that would work.
It's just like you just need to be in the luckiest room to get like Josh Lamar plus Gibbs or something.
Yeah. So I think we definitely take Mixon or Harvey here. Or maybe both. Actually, probably both of them.
I like Chuba equally.
Sure. Do whatever you want. I think we skip this tier of quarterbacks. The Stafford.
What I will say is this is the end tier quarterbacks if you want a third. So I kind of think like Geno.
I would do Geno. Yeah, Geno is.
Or do you want to go Stafford with Puka? I think we should.
Stafford for the stack. Yeah.
Yeah. Like this is the last tier of for sure starters.
Yeah, but I mean, don't get me wrong. Like the price.
I kind of think the wide receiver's the move, but I could be sold.
Dude, how many more points is Mixon going to project for than
These
Jackson
are two
Smith and
3-turn
Jigba?
wide receivers. Is skewing. I mean, it's a Davis draft. We're doing Worthy.
Worthy was probably going to make it back to us.
No, he wasn't. He was the top of the ADP.
This ADP is fake. This ADP is not real.
I just
It's not fully.
How
updated.
many? Who was going to get taken to have work? Okay, so let's look at JSN, Tet, DJ Moore. Let's see if any of those guys make it full on the wrap.
You will see what I'm saying.
But there's not any more quarterbacks to take after Geno, Richardson, Darnold.
Dude, Tyler Shuck is going to go at pick 80.
That makes the Stafford pick really good. Yeah, I don't think Worthy would fall that far.
I did one last night and I got Addison at pick 90 something.
I don't understand to stack. We don't have
this dude's in the draft and he has Mahomes.
Oh, okay. I got you. Let's see, where's the Mahomes drafter? Yeah, he's right here.
Yeah, the 3 quarterback start I think is egregious. I think it's a total overreaction to the
It's not that bad, right? You got Garrett Wilson and Cook. He got 2 players who go at the 3rd round, basically. I mean, with Gibbs, we don't it's okay to be a little thin at running back. We're still going to get a running back that's going to hit our starting lineup. And we're counting on Gibbs to hit our lineup most weeks, right?
Yeah, sure.
Specifically, I like Fields for Superflex too, just because he actually has an elite single week ceiling. So it's that's actually hitting your Superflex. Where if we would not have taken Stafford without Puka, but I could definitely see Stafford having the 40.
Tyler Shuck pick 76.
Yeah, well, and we're done at 3 quarterbacks.
Maybe we might take a round 20 guy, but
yeah, Kirk Cousins in the 20th I think is a good pick, or whatever round.
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna see Travion Henderson's about to go here. Yeah,
you are okay.
I'm definitely right. I was definitely right.
But I'm okay. I'm okay trying to beat our lobby / the playoff pods at wide receiver. In general, in the Eliminator 2, when people are falling over themselves to reach on running backs, I'm simply going to build a strong wide receiver room and then, hope I can hit some 0 RB guys here. So I want to go 2 wideouts here. I don't want to reach on Caleb Johnson.
This is terrible, man. This is just we're just don't have enough points.
We're fine, man.
I mean, it is. I mean, whatever. It's $5, but this is. I will probably not be building any teams this way myself.
Well, you're welcome. You got the winner with me, my friend.
If you look at the 2v2, you go RJ Harvey.
My guess for what happens here is the 0 running back tier doesn't get drafted that much. The Ray Davis range.
No, they get slammed because people do understand the format.
This drafter is not going to be jamming the running backs. And I would argue that, I know Beast Burst in the chat, this is not an understanding of the format.
I think you do still want one of the stud wide receivers, but it is an understanding of the format to not take the JSNs of the world.
I'm going to pull up my Superflex team that reached the finals.
Yeah.
Hey, brother, appreciate you. See, we're freeloading here.
A good bit that someone should do, I'm not going to do this, but it is a funny bit, would be to just start a best ball stream and then just say, I'm not drafting until I get a super chat to enter enough. $5 super chat, we're drafting a puppy. $25 super chat, we're drafting a BVM. I think it's, and then give away equity to the viewers. Okay, we're all drafting this together, right? So leave a comment and you have equity in this or whatever. What are you looking up?
I'm pulling up my suit. I gotta go. I'm scrolling the results to find my team. team
Oh,
that
it takes forever.
Okay, I found it though. Here's my team. It got 28th in Superflex. Let's check out the squad. So I punted quarterback. Hendon Hooker, Baker, Sam Howell, Purdy, Stafford.
Well, you didn't punt quarterback. You got a huge
I had
win in
Anchor
Baker.
Gibbs, and then I punted running back. Exactly what we're going to do here. Kyron was a last round pick. Ford, Chase Brown, Warren, Gibson, Gainwell. What did I do? Loaded up at wide receiver. Addison, JSN, Metcalf, T. Higgins, Cooper Kupp, Diggs, Juwan Johnson, and Kittle.
Right, but I bet the team that won scored a shit ton of points at running back.
Ford, Achane, Gainwell, P. Ryan, Gibbs, Najee. Not really. They punted. They had Gibbs, and they hit the mid-round Achane. So you're just like overreacting to last year, in my opinion.
I'm not overreacting to anything. I'm just thinking about how points are projected. And Metcalf, week 1, is going to project for 9 points.
I think, bro, when you have, it's not about what he's projected for. It's about Metcalf hitting 30 points in a playoff week.
Well, yes, anyone can score.
We are getting running back points from Gibbs. We're gonna
Jalen Waddle just went at pick 105. We took Zay Flowers at pick 84.
We would have taken Waddle. We're gonna load up at running back.
We're gonna but not with any good players.
We are building a hero running back team.
Debo Samuel is available at pick 108, and
we can do Tracy to massage your concerns.
Well, whatever. I mean, it just is what it is. And we cannot take Diggs here.
Diggs for the stack.
What is the point of Diggs in half PPR?
8 touchdowns, 11 touchdowns, 10 touchdowns.
I mean, whatever. This also would be our last chance to take a quarterback too.
No, we're done with quarterback. I would have entertained a tight end. We have 2 starting running backs. It's 20 rounds, my friend. We are literally going to have 8 running backs on this team.
Yeah. I just don't know if that's an optimal distribution. Like, I guess it's fine to draft some.
No, there's no optimal. Like, what do you mean? It's going to work some years. If those 8 running backs all don't score points, okay. But I like our chances to hit on an Achane in a year, a Kyron in a year, better than the field. I also like that this build apparently is not going to be popular. People are just like, and I wouldn't build like this all the time either, but what are we hoping for here? 2 of these guys to hit our super flex. Gibbs to hit our running back spot, plus whoever else we take. 2 wide receivers we're hoping to beat most of the field at. Plus,
I guess, honestly, our out here actually would be that our wide receivers are hitting our super flex at a certain degree.
Yeah. And another thing that I think is an edge in this, and I would have, if I was paying attention, I didn't see we didn't have a tight end, but I do think an elite tight end is more valuable than people think because you have to start one and you don't want to be like weak there,
Yeah, I think Hawkinson would have been the much better pick than Diggs.
I like Jonnu more for the upside. Yeah, I would have done Jonnu. Like Hawkinson can be more target dominant, but
he also plays in a dome and frankly probably has a better quarterback, don't you think?
I mean, I think people think so black and white in a game that's not black and white. Guess what, friends? CMC tears his ACL week 3. See you later. Puka scores 20 points, 30 points in week 17. See you later. Isaac Grendel starts playing more. See you later. Brock Purdy tears his ACL, and now the 49ers are facing 10-man boxes. See you later. Right? Like, I know we're so certain about things right now. And honestly, I was thinking the Tutons of the world would make it back to us.
Because people are just drafting running backs because there's no point in drafting, Michael Pittman Jr. in this.
Yeah, but we didn't. We drafted Diggs.
Right, but I'm saying our opponents are also aware of the same thing.
Well, we'll see here. Like this tier of running backs is going here. There's plenty of 2 running backs to get right now. I think Ramondre for sure for the stack.
Yeah,
And then I think we should
Ramondre's
grab our
good.
tight end.
Yeah, I like Andrews here.
I'm not a big Andrews guy, so I'm happy to get him here. And honestly, like I feel pretty good about our squad. We're hoping to keep pace / beat some teams at quarterback. Gibbs, we're hoping, is the nuclear smash. Literally could be the guy you need. I like our chances to get enough points at RB2 here. We're hoping to beat teams at wide receiver / flex. And even these guys are going to hit our super flex sometimes. And then we're hoping to beat a lot of teams with tight end.
You know, you love to.
This isn't really the point. The point is that, yes, some years Puka could get hurt. Some years CMC could get hurt. If you are a 100% of the time I need to take CMC because it feels better, you don't have to feel good about everything to win. Do you think I felt good? Like, I don't really feel great about every 0 running back team I build. Sometimes I do feel good and I'm wrong, right? Like I took Kyron Williams, who was almost certainly undrafted in the big board on that Superflex team. That's the reason why I went. We're going to have to hit some guys at running back here. And I'm guessing the like Marshawn Lloyds of the world, I don't even know if they get drafted in this.
No. So it goes the other way. It goes the other way.
The Slaytons don't get drafted.
The Slaytons, the AD Mitchells, the Dontavian Wickses, those guys don't get drafted because again, there's which I actually think is correct. I think the field is doing that correctly.
This feels terrible to me though. Shedeur.
Yeah, I mean, I think that like I don't know who was the last quarterback drafted before Shedeur. Like round 9, Daniel Jones is probably better than round 12 Shedeur.
I didn't even notice this, man.
Yeah.
No, this makes what we did feel really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do. I think like my version of this build is CMC. Basically. Well, my version of this is not taking a quarterback in round 1 and 2.
Well, your version of this build is going Gibbs, CMC, and then you still have these wide receivers, which feels good too.
Right.
But, you know, you're going to – like I'm not pretending that Puka is an unvaluable player in this format just because the running back horniness is like out of control in this.
Yeah.
Same thing with the
round 13 Jalen Milroe. See, like you like someone might think that's bad. I actually think it's fine. That
seems okay. It's just like, but you need him. It's okay because you need him in the money weeks.
Well, it's like you know what it's like. It's like in this quarterbacks kind of become the running backs, where like Jalen Milroe becomes Bashal Tutin or Ray Davis or whatever. You know, like just a pure handcuff play, or a Tyler Algier. Better comp.
I think we're gonna just go 2 tight ends.
Yeah, I think 2 tight ends is probably optimal on this, and we can take your boy Guerendo here.
I was hoping you wouldn't say that while we're not on clock yet.
We're on a 7-second delay, brother.
I think Guerendo, Kincaid. We call it a day. I know
Kincaid, gotta get Kincaid in half PPR, dude.
I know we're eating the 0 for a week. I mean, there are definitely years where Kincaid smashes.
Same bye week as Andrews.
Don't care at all. And honestly, getting Guerendo there feels like a huge win.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. I mean, Guerendo's a great pick,
especially with us not taking CMC. Like this is it's a little too week 1 brain for some of these guys to go over Guerendo to me.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, someone said this in the chat, Charlie, I think, is like, yeah, drafting for week 1 is a great opportunity to draft shitty teams if you're being too week 1 brained.
I mean,
dude, what if we take Taysom Hill, dude? Taysom Hill is like a super flex and a tight end pick, dude.
Dude, Taysom Hill scored 40 points in a week last year.
Taysom Hill had a quarterback 1 week last year. Yes, that is true.
Dude, if Kincaid has a smash year, I just cannot wait to dunk on the haters. I just can't wait.
Yeah. I mean, I think the haters are probably marked safe from that, but
We'll see.
you never know.
He's getting some positive camp buzz. I mean, it's OTA.
Kyle Pitts and Dalton Kincaid with the buzz.
Pitts is not getting positive buzz, bro.
No, but he's getting negative buzz.
Very fun thing, actually, Davis, is unfortunately, if I'm right, he's going to go up in price where Bill's on Hard Knocks. We've not talked about that.
True.
And so, like Deion Dawkins, Bill's left tackle, is like, I can't wait for the people to see Kincaid on Hard Knocks. Interesting.
Shoulder press in the 45s, dude. Shout out to Kincaid, man.
Does that correlate with fantasy points? Is Kelsey known for shoulder pressing?
You're the Rats, dude.
Keon, I think Keon for sure will get the Hard
Keon
Knocks.
is going to be a riser, yeah.
So Elijah Moore's getting a lot of buzz right now, but this is the time of year that Elijah Moore shine. Like, if people aren't hip, spring practices, that's not the time. It's basically the time where like smaller, shifty, fast guys shine because defensive backs are not allowed to put their hands on players. Same thing with like the Jaden Blues of the world. They look great in shorts. Things are a little bit different when it's pads are on, people are getting lit up, you know?
Yeah.
So Elijah Moore's getting a lot of positive buzz. 900 yards, 7 touchdowns. I mean, that would be a smash. I don't even think you don't even need that though at his price, right? Like literally within a couple picks, we're taking Bretton Strange, who could be a very good pick, but it requires some wish casting.
Yeah. A lot of picks require
I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if Rattler was the starter. He got positive buzz. I'm not drafting him, but I mean, honestly, this is the truth for most tight ends, AW. If your tight end comes clutch in a playoff week, it's a win. Example, Juwan Jennings the year. Let's go Braylon Allen and Will Shipley.
Yeah, good picks.
Because I think we're done at 5. With Diggs, we could take a 6th.
I think you take one more for Diggs, but the wide receivers that are going to be there in the final rounds for us are going to be better than you're anticipating. I
mean, this looks terrible right now. What do you mean? I guess Douglas maybe with May.
Well, Slayton's like 50-50 to be there.
Yeah, I mean, this is a good point. A negative Kincaid point is I don't think he was hurt before the Colts game, and he wasn't like he was doing very good from a target share perspective, but not great from a fantasy point scored perspective. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think he still ended 8th amongst tight ends in targets per route run or something.
Yeah, he's getting basically what do you need to have happen? You need Josh Allen to stop stealing 20 rushing touchdowns around the goal line. Could happen, could not.
Just need him to run into 10 touchdowns once and dunk on the haters, man.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna be quote tweeting the folks. I'll be the most obnoxious person on the timeline. And then Kincaid will be swiftly injured. Jarquez Hunter and Blake Corum. I don't hate it.
I don't hate that either. You just
I think that's a sharp thing to do in May.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just, we rallied back around. I don't know if we drafted optimally. The thing is the thing you can't control for in these rooms is there will just be crazy wide receiver fallers. And you're just like, well, I wish I wouldn't have taken wide receiver X because I could have gotten wide receiver Y.
The variance of a super flex lobby is like way bigger.
Is big, yeah.
Where it's like, yeah, like having a lucky group is like one of the number one things.
I mean, that's
I don't know. I like the vision here.
That's just true for all.
Brees Hall trade. I wouldn't
Or just
preclude us from taking Isaiah Davis.
Allen, or just Braylon Allen just smashes.
Braylon Allen smashes. I think Isaiah Davis and Braylon, we can do the same thing as Corum.
Yeah. Would have been a good Jaden Blue team.
Where did Jaden Blue go?
I like the Denver running backs.
Jaden Blue goes 10 picks later on a Superflex format. That seems bad.
Do you like
I like Douglas with May as our last guy.
Douglas and half PPR, dude? We are just limp dicking everywhere.
I just think it's good.
80 Mitchell is just a better pick than he is.
All right, we don't get him. We don't get him. Let's go 2 running backs. Let's go Jaleel and
Estime.
Let's do Miles Sanders.
Sure. I have Miles Sanders ranked in my stuff now.
Yeah, I'm when I update my rankings, I've been taking him some, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to prescribe others to do it, but I'm gonna rank him. 2 more picks. I think we're done at running back. Again, we only need 2 of these guys. We have some guys in a standalone role. Tracy and Ramondre. Grendo is a maybe standalone, maybe pure handcuff. Braylon is a maybe standalone, maybe pure handcuff. Shipley's probably pure handcuff for the most part. Like, you never know. Jaleel, I think, will have some standalone value. And then Miles Sanders, who knows?
He'll have the same bullshit standalone value that he had last year, where it was like the most disgusting 7.5 points per game. Like, Jaleel was a running back who got 10 touches every week, who was a free agent in the main event. Like, you could just, if you just wanted to pick up Jaleel in the main event, you could most of the time.
Where are you at on Jaleel versus Estime?
I mean, Estime is the one who I think can matter because he can score touchdowns. Like, I think Estime is the right bet to make against Harvey, like getting 300 touches or whatever.
I prefer Jaleel because I kind of view Estime as like what Roschon Johnson's year was last year, where he scored 7 touchdowns and it didn't matter at all. You know, like,
yeah,
like getting a 1-yard touchdown 7 different times during the year is not valuable at all. Where what I like about Jaleel is he can be thrown a wheel route and go score a 60-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
And also Harvey's like pass catching, like I've seen some people be negative about it, so seems opinions are mixed there.
Yeah, he didn't catch that many passes in college.
So if someone really wanted quarterbacks, Kenny Pickett is still here. It is interesting. Flacco went so much higher than him. I think Zach Wilson is not crazy, just like shorting Tua getting hurt.
No, I think like Joe Milton, Kenny
Gabriel.
Pickett, and Malik Willis. I think these guys are like all pretty defensible. Sam Howell.
Tyrod Taylor.
Tyrod, you know what? Tyrod is a real sneaky one because it's not like out of the realm of like it's pretty light, but Fields could get benched, like just for performance related reasons.
Yeah, but that coaching staff has job security, so they could just be like, absolutely not. We're not. Like they don't need to go down with the ship with Fields. If he's not at an acceptable level, they could be like, we need to bench this to send a message to the team. You know, like
Fields also live to just like, get hit and miss 2 weeks with a concussion or whatever.
Sure. If they're like running him 30 times a game. I do think I think 2 wide receivers is the move here.
Yeah.
I mean, should we do Mike Williams for the Herbert stack?
We should take Wicks.
We got no stack there. We're doing it. I know you hate it.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine.
I don't even know if I like it, but I don't want unstacked Herbert when there is a conceivable stack.
Mike Williams is pretty live to just like retire, I think.
That is definitely possible.
Yeah.
ESPN depth chart has him listed as the wide receiver 2. It has Quentin Johnston listed as the wide receiver 4. I've never seen the ESPN depth chart do that in May.
No, that's pretty funny.
And you're the Mike Clay projection guy. By the way, I don't like my projection guy going out on the beach and taking beach pics. I want him behind a computer.
No, good for Mike, dude. Good for Mike. He's living it
I
up.
want him
Man.
on the computer. I don't want this guy touching grass in May. Anyways, Clay's projections were bullish on him.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's not
Herbert,
nothing.
May, Stafford. I was not taking Fields a lot on the big board because I thought it was very risky once he got more expensive. But
because they could have pretty easily been the Jackson Dart team.
That's what I'm saying. But I don't think you're paying close attention. I literally took Fields in the draft before this. I take Fields all the time now. I have a very bullish ranking on him. Herbert, May, Stafford, perfectly fine. Gibbs, Tracy, Ramondre Guerrero, Allen Shipley, Jaleel, Miles Sanders. I like it. Other people won't. Obviously, we need some of these guys to come through. The story with any running back deep team. Puka, Worthy, Flowers, Metcalf, Diggs, Atwell, Mike Williams. Really just kind of need these guys to be special, which it's like, it's not my favorite group of dudes, but seems fine. We do have 3 stacking partners with the quarterbacks, which I like as well, and Puka. Andrews and Kincaid looking for touchdowns from 2 of the best teams in football. Just built the winner, Davis. Happy to split it with you.
Beautiful. Thank you for bringing me down that beautiful road. It was you know what? You do just like, I gotta be more open to weird constructions, because weird constructions crushed last year. Not saying what happened last year is for sure going to happen this year, but definitely just need to be more wide open to weird stuff happening and working.
Yeah, like what you were saying to me was a little too projection mind coded, you know?
Yeah.
Where it's
Yeah,
like,
that's
let's
totally
just remember
reasonable.
how chaotic of a game we're playing, where half of the first round could be out by week 2.
Yep.
That's in the range, folks. You know? It's in the range.
Yeah. Of course.
Again, folks, don't know when Davis and I will stream again. If I can here or there, I'll definitely reach out to Davis. Possibly going to have to look for that towards July. I'm moving to night streams mostly in June. Appreciate you folks being here. Like, subscribe, join the Discord. Link is below. BeatBestBall.com for my stuff. Davis?
Patreon.com/Davis Maddock for all my stuff. And the more I'll be streaming tomorrow. I'll probably stream Friday as well. To probably do a members only on Friday.
All right, folks, let us know what you think in the comments below. People are loving the haircut. Davis, what's your haircut story? You keeping the long? You did get a haircut, maybe.
Got like 6 inches off, bro.
Wow. But
I do it like once every 2 years.
Once every 2 years.
I just go and I say, get it off. I say, get it off my shoulders. And there it goes. It's beautiful. I feel free.
I labeled that one so I know what happens here if we win. All right, folks, enjoy your days.